Next on our list for consideration is the green one. Yes, I'm talking about Nedbank, which of course is a full service operation with all of the useful bits and pieces. Retail, commercial, property focused, asset management, the whole caboodle. 50% plus managed, controlled, invested in rather by Old Mutual. So it forms part of the Old Mutual global group. Market capitalization 91.8 billion rand. Price earnings ratio 8.21, dividend yield 5.95. Those are the historic numbers. They'll probably be updated tomorrow with the most recent results, which look pretty good to me.
Yeah, they were announced this morning. Reasonable, I guess, given expectations. I mean, what we are seeing is quite a significant moderation in earnings growth. They were able to deliver diluted HEPS growth of 8.5%. So, and interestingly, their target is sort of nominal GDP plus 5%. And you're thinking 8.5%, but that doesn't sound like enough. But GDP growth is sort of 0.5% at the moment. Inflation 6.5%. So they're actually in that range, although they did in the results moderate expectations going forward that they're going to struggle to meet that nominal GDP plus 5%. So it looks like you know, all the impact and the pressures, and this is quite a South African focused operation, are coming to bear on the banks.
Okay, but well, I guess what the theme of what we've been saying is that the share prices have reflected this global concern, this concern around the sovereign debt rating. I mean, that's a very big move, as you can see there, in terms of the share price being a bad asset class to be in. The question really for people now, though, is this a good time to be accumulating? And that's tricky. As far as Nedbank's concerned, you don't think there's any, I mean, Bruce Hemphill is now at the helm of Old Mutual. He's an ex-Standard Bank man. He probably believes slightly more than other people in the idea of bank assurance and of, you know, different ways of gathering assets, because Nedbank does that. It gathers assets as much as anybody else. So he's less likely to want to give them the chop, right? That stake.
I mean, and I think that is a benefit here. You've got a committed parent that understands the business and sees the value. I mean, certainly not the right time in the cycle anyway to be looking to realize that investment. And I think there are a fair number of synergies which they've done fairly well at exploiting.
There's one extra interesting thing about Nedbank, and that it's got a stake in EcoBank, which it's you know, accumulated. EcoBank is a West African-based and headquartered bank, which has got some interesting potential. Although I suppose at this time, that's not, again, something that's going to really be exciting to people, given the problems in that region.
Yeah, the interesting to note in the results that actually, given sort of, it's really the first time for the full period in their results, they consolidated a portion of the results, own 20%. That was actually a bolster to the Nedbank numbers. So I guess longer term it still looks interesting and exciting, and I think they have options to increase their shareholding as well.
Although they wouldn't want to change its fundamental character, because that's part of EcoBank's selling point, is that it is in fact headquartered and focused there. So if it got yanked into South Africa, that would probably be a net negative. But you got to hand it to the guys, Mike Brown and his colleagues. Bank of the Year in Africa, Bank of the Year in South Africa. Many people didn't really regard them very strongly 10 years ago. They had various problems. Now they're as strong as anyone else on the local market. Share price, buy now, hot or not?
Yeah, again, the rating is low. Obviously, the earnings outlook in the short term is not that great. I think you're getting these things on single-digit PEs. It looks like their earnings growth is going to be in the single digits for a little while. But it's a much better time to be accumulating them. Price to NAV is much lower. So we look at it, and you can be opportunistic. Nedbank, for example, the PE dropped below the dividend yield. That is a very good signal too. So you might want to be a little bit opportunistic, but I think it's a fair time to accumulate now.
So hot on this one. Yeah. Good. I'm going to go hot too.